Hello everyone, this will be the review of game My Hidden Things, and the key was provided by developer. This is an iteration of Hidden Object game, which is the main core of it. It also has a little bit of story in form of pictures and text. There isn't much of it, but it's there in between of the puzzle itself. Let me just check the recording. Should be fine, I hope. Yeah, I guess it is. Alright, so Fullscreen works correctly, but I would definitely prefer it to have resolution settings. It's off, so it works in a window mode, sort of. Let's check languages. Oh, there is quite a lot of them, actually. Okay, 5, I think. And we have sliders for music and sound. Well, of course, I don't use it because I need to focus and I need to comment. So rather basic. It's not bad, but I would prefer to have the resolution to choose because it just makes my work a bit easier. Right. I'm gonna go to one level and then I will tell you about one problem that I had with the game. It's probably gonna be fixed because I wrote on the forum and the developer responded, so there should be a fix for the problem. Maybe it's just my problem, but I had it. But that in a moment. So I will just show you one level, maybe the second level. Yeah, I will show the second level because I want to show you what problem I had and what's the gameplay like. It should be okay. I will be only spoiling one level. So I'm trying to click it and I can't really because now it's in window mode and I can't click next because it's right at the bottom. Okay, so you can see some pictures, a little bit of a story about an alpinist who is one of the protagonists in the game, if you can say that it has protagonists. And that's the game. Let me just check the recording again, because that's a bit jumpy. Right. Yeah, I know, I get it. So basically, find 5 items and then put them to the backpack. So maybe I won't be solving all of it. Maybe I will solve one thing, okay? Just to show you one solution and what problem I had. So you see, those two things go together as a pickaxe. My problem is that I couldn't make it snap. Like if you do this, it doesn't snap. If you do this, it doesn't snap. If I move it around and move it in the proper, it will snap in the proper position. But if you just put it roughly like this, it doesn't work, right? It must be exact. Now you don't have to put it there and release. You can just hold it. So I'm holding it now, and now I'm knowing that those two go together, right? I can do it here even. Yes? I can use it as a layout. See, if I do it like this, yeah, now it snapped. Okay. So you need to be very precise. And if you snap them together, if you put them together, they will form the object and you will get the solution. So that snapping for me was a problem because I was just trying to, like maybe I will try to put together something that doesn't match. Right, if I, let's say, take this and this, well, maybe something else. Something here, no. I think this, yeah. So if I just try to put them together, let's say they have to be like this, right? If I go a little bit off and try to put it, it won't work, right? It will only work in this exact position, right? Now it would snap and there you go. So that's a little bit of a problem. It's being fixed, I guess, hopefully. So that was the only issue I had. Aside from that, it's just multiple iterations of the same puzzle, right? So you have to take all those things somewhere here. Let's put it maybe there. And you just try to find as many objects as possible, right? You can arrange them somewhere. And yeah, this is not clickable. This hand as well, something probably is. Okay, so maybe this is clickable? No, can't remove the flag. Right, so if you arrange them somewhere, then you try to figure out what would be a part of what. So if, let's say, those two go together, then they would form something. You would have one more, just like this pickaxe. And then you get this full puzzle. You find all the objects, and then the level ends. You get a piece of the comic, or whatever you want to call it, this sort of drawn pictures, a little bit of text, and you follow the story, and then you go to another character and you follow his story and you do his puzzle and so on. Maybe I will show you one more puzzle uh, just to show you more. First level, right? Some graphics again. I kind of like one of those. Like this one's quite good. Yeah, that's the graphics, and yeah, that's what it looks like. So you have to connect something to form those three things: watch, coffee, and pills. And there is again all kinds of stuff, like this bird, for instance, or this monster, right? So you can move them around. They also kind of follow the mouse when you move it around. So you have to figure out where everything is and put it together. And in this case, that would be just three objects. In the previous, there was like five, I think, and then the backpack. And every puzzle is a bit different, but of course the general idea is similar. You have to connect objects to form other objects, and then it kind of finishes the level. You go to next level, and so it goes. There is like, I think, 7 achievements and something like 13 levels. Not entirely sure. I was checking the guide. There's actually a guide on Steam, so you can check how much stuff is there if you don't mind spoilers. And well, that's how the story goes, right? You just unlock another level, another character, you do the puzzle, and it just moves forward until you finish. There's no other options back, it's just back to menu. Here we have only settings, that's the play of something. I'm not sure what I would play. I'll play nothing, I have to actually click something. Here are the levels, right? So I finished Alpinist, I did the first level, so I showed you first two levels, the Ophelia level and the Alpinist level, with very little solution. So I think that's enough for the game to not spoil everything. So how much I would give it? Well, I like how it's done, and I appreciate it for what it is. So for a hidden object game and a puzzle game, it's done fine. It's done okay. I also appreciate the graphics in between. It's a little bit more than just the puzzle, and the puzzle is done in a very typical way. You have one idea, and then it's multiplied into many levels. Well, maybe not that many, but there is multiple objects in each level, so probably you have to find like 100 objects, maybe even more, to beat the whole game. So if someone is into this, that should be okay, because that's gonna take you a while just to beat every level, to find everything, all pieces of objects, and rearrange them and find the proper object that you only have a silhouette of, and then well, then beat it. It's like I would be stuck, to be honest, because I'm not good at those games. I think I did the last 2 Alpinist levels actually, but I was even stuck on the first one, partially because of that snapping problem, but also I just couldn't figure out that some things are hidden, like in the plain sight. I'm not good at those games. So I probably would be stuck somewhere without a guide, almost for certain. But if you're good at this, you can probably beat it in one afternoon, I guess. Well, it just depends how long it takes for you to find this stuff. I think the amount of content and the additional sort of story, even though it's very brief, but still, it's always better to have a story than nothing. That's okay. That's even slightly above average. I would give it a 6, maybe 7 if the snapping is completely fixed. Otherwise 6. It is slightly above average. It's well done for a puzzle game, for a hidden object game. Of course, not big one. There are also hidden object games that are point and click adventures, and they are usually longer and generally slightly bigger games. Also different graphics. Well, it's disputably better, but different for sure. There's quite a lot of those games that are very similar. If we treat it as puzzle, it's definitely more than just a puzzle. because of the story. If we treat it as a hidden object game, that's just the core mechanic of hidden object game, where you always connect objects. So that's something that we have seen before in other games. There is the whole series of games that are pretty much just hidden object slash point and click adventure games. They're all very similar, like Scooby-Doo Adventures, something like that. There's tons of them on Steam. And I think they're longer, generally speaking, than this. So this is like distilled core of the hidden object mechanic. So for me, that's 6, maybe 7 out of 10 if the snapping is fixed. I can recommend it to fans of the genre, so either if you like puzzle games or if you like hidden object games, you might want to add it to your collection. It's well done, generally speaking. It's doing what it should be doing. It gives you a challenge, it gives you some amount of puzzles and some amount of objects. It will occupy you for probably 1 or 2 days, and then you will be done with it. You will be seeing all the story, and you will beat all the levels, and that's pretty much it. There's no NG plus or anything like it. So not a very big game, generally done well. If that snapping is more maybe easier, I would say. I think it needs to be just easier, because, well, if you just guess that 2 objects go together but they won't snap, then you might think that you are thinking wrong, like that you took the wrong object, but you actually are taking the right object. And also, if you don't know that you can just hold it and hover around the other object until it clicks, instead of just dragging and dropping into different places, then you can just get stuck. I was actually deinstalled this game because of that. And then I checked the guide, I tried again, and then I realized what's going on. So that could put some people off, but once you realize how it works, and maybe if it's a little bit polished, then it should be absolutely fine. It's just not a very big game. So for me, this is for now 6 out of 10. Slight recommendation for fans of the genre, and that will be it for my hidden things. See you guys in the next material.